a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay?
Welcome to Elevating Lives. My name is Charles Evdos. I'm Executive Director of Rise Life Services. The goal of the show is to help and educate individuals who may have autism, special needs, developmental disabilities, need mental health services. Wherever we can help, we're there to be there for you, really. We also have a helpline. It's 855 Rise Life, which will also come out at the end of the show, and you'll get a better glimpse of how that hotline can help you. Today, my guest is Michael Kitakis. He's the Executive Director of Spirit of Huntington, and we're doing a collaboration, a partnership, really, with Michael and his company or his not-for-profit. And the goal is to help individuals, again, who have special needs, developmental disabilities, veterans, the community. And the process is we just purchased a building in Huntington, which is a 24,000 square foot building. All these services are going to be under one roof, which is really, I believe it's the first of its kind in America and probably New York State. Michael, tell us a little bit about the Spirit of Huntington and what is it all about?
What we're all doing down there, right? Well, thank you, Charles, for getting us here today to talk about it. We're so excited. I mean, with your collaboration, your support at Rise Life Services, coming together with Spirit of Huntington Arts Center to create Rise in Spirit Community Arts Center is just going to be amazing. Amazing for the community, like you said, amazing for the veterans, and most importantly for our special needs individuals that are partaking in our programs. What started out with a little old garage on 25A and Park Avenue in Huntington with 2 students, my son being one of them, to now a program with over almost 300 students a week coming through it. It's just amazing to see the growth and the prosperity of the support that's coming together to all these services that are needed out there, What's so fun about it is that, again, starting with art was great, and creative expression does transform lives. We see that every day there at the center, but being able to now expand on that creative expression program to include now clay, to include music, dance, and really does capture recreation, education, and vocation all in one spot. And with your support and collaboration, we now can offer all of these services, which is just great,
Tell me a little bit about the art program, which you started about 10 years ago.
Yep, yeah, 10 years ago. In that little gas station, we started a program called Artists Come Alive, which is we would learn about an artist. We learn what that artist may have overcame in their life through creative expression and art. And we would teach the students, this was Van Gogh, this is how he was, this was what he was doing, and what we can learn from them. We do it through interactive slideshows, we watch movies, we read a book about it, and then we do a project in that style, so in that vein of Vincent Van Gogh. And then at the end, we do a nice review, we talk about it, and next week we do a different artist, and next week is another artist. And at the end of 10 weeks, we put on an amazing art show. And that art show really does give the validation. It gives the kudos and accolades for those students who participated to see their work and really, be part of that excitement of creative expression. What's happened over the last year now is that those shows have gained so much popularity that we actually created something called Artability, which is the culmination of all these great agencies we work with, including Rise, and coming together for one big show called Artability, Long Island's largest special needs art show, where we had over 259 artists in that show. And it was an amazing thing there at the gallery that's at the Art Center. And it got so much exposure through the press and through people being so excited about it that we were able to take that show and move it into New York City at Chelsea Art District. And it was just so amazing to see, a real live, honest to God, gallery exhibiting all of these amazing artists that never get the credit, never be part of the, inclusiveness and diversity and all the exposure of them being able to say, it's really amazing art. It's not just that we're doing something good. It's actually a really cool project.
Sure.
And Now it's going from there to the Nassau County Museum of Art. And then from there, it's going out to Fine Art Hampton out here. And it's going to be exhibited there too. So all of a sudden now it's becoming a touring exhibition of all this amazing art from all these amazing artists, you know. And it's just how it just all grew. I wish I could say it was all planned, but
Right.
you know, even us coming together to do this amazing cultural arts center, community arts center, where we can have all these services, it just, you know, there's a need. And when you start to supply the need, everyone's like, yes, how do we become part of it, you know? And then from the art, we were able to add clay because that tactileness, right? And the students love putting their hands in there, getting messy and dirty. We got wheels, you know, the potter's wheels, we got the kiln, and they're able to make amazing creations there. Then we started adding music. Again, another form of creative expression, right? So we have Music Comes Alive now as another program. And we, you know, incorporated other nonprofits into our organization there, as you know. And we were able to get, you know, the dance studio there, North Shore Dance, who's got a nonprofit now armed to their services. And now we're able to offer, you know, movement classes and boxing and karate and all for special needs individuals. So they get that exercise and movement aspect as part of their day. And then they can go across the hallway and take an art class. They can go now do the, you know, a clay class and music. And now all of a sudden it starts becoming this whole cool place that offers all these great programs. And I think that's really what it's about. It's collaborating, you know, it's getting other nonprofits to be in our Rise in Spirit Cultural Art Community Arts Center and make it a place where we can expand and continue to expand, which is really exciting because, you know, we've talked about, Charlie, of like, how can this go into other areas of the world, you know, of the country, the state? There's definitely a need for it.
Right. What I find very interesting is many times individuals need stimulus, like an autistic child, whether it's art, music, dance, whatever the category may be, that helps the individual come out of their shell sometimes. And I've seen that over and over again. And I truly believe that having all these services under one roof is going to make a huge difference in the lives of these individuals.
No doubt. Creative expression just, it releases where there isn't always vocabulary, where there isn't always, you know, opportunities to talk and express, and they feel, you know, isolated a lot of times. And that's really what this is all about. It's telling your story. Now, whether your story is done through a piece of paper, whether it's done through a painting, whether it's done through movement, music, all these things have the ability to really transform the lives. We see it. You know, we see it all the time. And it's just so, it moves you, you know, right. You feel it.
I mean, the Rise in Spirit is not only for special needs, autism, and so forth, but it's for veterans. How can we help the veterans? How do you see that happening?
100%. So it is open to all ages, all abilities, all welcome. We kind of, you know, coined that up because it has to be a complete community center. And more importantly, it does, you know, hit certain segments of the population. Our veterans have long needed the support and an outlet to be part of. And we've been able to collaborate with Northport Veterans Hospital and the VA. We've been working with them for about 10 years now with classes. It did get shut down for a while because of COVID. Thanks to a grant that we got from Altice USA, they were able to support the program, and we are in the middle right now of a great session. We had to do it via Zoom. We couldn't get to the hospital because they were on lockdown. It had gotten so bad because of the last strain and the variants and stuff with COVID that they actually were isolated to their rooms. So we were able to get them iPads and Zoom into their room, and they loved it. I mean, you couldn't see more joy just having connectivity, having to be able to opportunity to just be part of the social world that they got isolated. I mean, they really are isolated. They're elderly, and they can't do anything. And this was like a huge respite. Since things have started to quiet down a little bit with COVID, they've now been able to get outside the rooms and be in the common areas. But they're finishing up their, actually this week, they're finishing up their session of classes. Remember, a different artist each week, right? And now we're talking about an art show. We had a great meeting with Altice yesterday. They're thinking about having a big opening in Bethpage at their location there where their offices are, get News 12, get everybody in there, and even get the, you know, the company to help volunteer. Because then that's the whole thing, is that when people see what's happening, they just want to help. But a lot of times they don't know how to help, right?
Right.
So, by getting involved even in an art show and helping hang it and get all the veterans down there and seeing this, and, they're really going to get a volunteer, hopefully a sign up, with Altice that will really push this to the next level. And then also doing a show at the hospital, because we may not be able to get them out because of COVID. We're going to see where it all rolls. But the veterans have been near and dear to our heart. Our founder, Eric Price, started with veteran paintings on the corner of 25A, raising money for homeless vets. Right. And he met Dominic Mavelia at the old gas station. They asked him to come in and do some murals, because it was getting tagged. And that little gas station is where we all started, literally with 2 or 3 kids. And then it became, more kids, and it became the veterans, and it became school districts. And then it just, organizations all started to help out, and people like you becoming part of it and seeing the value, like you're saying, of that tactile creativity that sometimes you need,
I mean, I know you had the show in the city at Agora.
Yeah, it was great.
Tell us a little bit about can an individual sell their artwork? How do you make the individual say, I did a great painting and I made some money on the deal? How do you do that?
It is limited, Charles, as you probably know, with Medicaid and some of the income they can get. What we've been able to do is pick the best of all of the organizations we work with. We work with over 12 organizations, obviously companies like Rise Life Services and Free and Life's Work and all these great groups that we work with. And we've been able to get their paintings into this traveling exhibition without selling. But the goal will be at the end to do an auction. So we're going to be back in Agora at the end of the year after this exhibit goes, across all of Long Island and into the city, into these other places. And then once it gets back to Agora, hopefully at the end of November into December and the holidays, we'll be able to do, an art auction. Now, the monies will probably have to go back to the organizations that the students are affiliated with, because they can't get so much extra income. Mm-hmm. But at least then it supports the next round of classes. So it becomes self-feeding in that way, and it brings awareness, obviously, to inclusion and diversity with these shows, but it also helps fund the programs,
right?
Yeah,
and unfortunately what happens, New York State over the years, hopefully with Governor Hochul, this is not going to happen, but they've been cutting our budgets. And so art, music, dance are the first areas they cut. And it's important to build up a revenue stream to keep the programs going, and that's what we're trying to accomplish, no question.
No doubt. No, that's hard.
Tell me a little bit, I know you're going to have an art show here out in the Hamptons. Tell me a little bit about that show.
So again, Fine Art Hampton, we were able to connect with Dr. Manis. He's on our board. He's part of the Manis Peace Prize Foundation, and he's been able to support some of our programs, and he had some connections with Fine Art Hampton. So we've been speaking to Rick out there. We're excited to hopefully finalize our partnership with what type of a display we'll have. I think they want to do a private tent party for us to exhibit all the art and have it somewhat of a donor party, bring all the boards together, bring all these organizations together. We all work together, mm-hmm. and really bring the exposure of what this can be and should be for our participants and our students. I think that the art in that world doesn't get a lot of recognition. It's with the special needs artists, and and I really disagree with that. I can make a case that some of the finest artists that are out there all have special needs. So I think that their ability to express themselves is even better in some ways. They're not constrained a lot of times by, does it look like a real picture? Did it really portray that? Sometimes it's just let go, man. And if you ever see an autistic individual paint, and they just, you can see that they're transported almost into this place of amazing calmness and creativity, and it just goes, and that's beautiful to me.
Right. Now, I know our individuals that attend the Spirit of Huntington love the activities. Yeah. They're getting into dance now. Tell us a little about the dance. I love that stuff.
Oh man, it's funny because again, that I can't dance. Sometimes we have to call it movement classes. Because some of the boys don't want to be involved in it. But I think overall, everyone's really embraced activity. I think it's that just letting it go, feeling the music, feeling that spirit,
Right.
no joke intended there, but feeling that spirit move through them, and getting them all excited about the opportunity to express themselves in a different way. Same with music. And, we're watching them, create songs. They're learning about songwriting. They're learning about different artists the same way they did with the fine art. They're studying Beatles one day. The next they're doing, Beethoven and Bach. My son is involved.
What about the monkeys?
Oh, we got to do the monkeys. Monkeys are coming up. We got to put them in there. But my son graduated from SUNY New Paltz as a cellist, and he's excited about the opportunity to work in music. He overcome a lot of his challenges through music, and like I obviously was pushing him towards art, but he ended up going that music route. But now he's actually getting involved in helping teach. So you just never know where all these things start to roll into, and how it helps not just the participants, but the people and the support staff that we put together. Your team is dynamic, and you see them all getting excited, involved, and engaging. It's not, let's go shopping and
Right.
really not get involved.
Sure. I mean, our No Walls program, which is an adult program, basically. Managed care is basically having individuals stay at home. And the sad part is when you stay at home, you watch TV all day and you do nothing. The program allows individuals to now go out into the community and also take these various classes, which is so important to their lifestyle. I mean, these individuals wanted the same thing you and I want. Get up have breakfast, do activities, get involved, have a little smile on their face. It's great. And it's sad that without these programs, they wouldn't get this.
No, they and add COVID on top of it all.
Right.
We identified a need, Charles, that even got further, which is the vocation. Now, this opened up a whole new level to our programs and our level of opportunity and support for these individuals. And as we were teaching classes one day, the story goes that 6-7 years ago, I had a very successful marketing and advertising agency for 20 years. I gave all that up to be part of, obviously, Spirit of Huntington and come on full-time as the ED there. But when we had a couple clients left over from that thing that we were involved in, one of the students came over. We were working on a website, and he's like, "Oh, let me see what that is." I'm like, "Oh no, this is complicated. It's digital art. This isn't fine art stuff, And of course, the student was insistent and came on and started moving things around, and and then all the lights go off, and you're like, "Oh man, they could do this," And with unemployment, pre-COVID was 85%. Unemployment rate for special needs young individuals. I mean, that's almost a crime, and it's in the 90s now. If it was 9.2, the country would be flipping. This is 92%. Why even get out of bed? Why even start your day?
I know.
You can't even get going. So we were like, we got to do something, So we started showing them that digital art could be a vocation in their life.
Right.
And all of a sudden, everyone started getting excited about taking a class. Again, starts with 2 or 3 students. We're up to 18 with 3 different classes. And to see them working on websites, logos, social media, brochures, it's phenomenal. The classes were structured right after one of the colleges, LIU on Long Island. We took that same graphic art design, got rid of history and math and science, and made it pretty much like a vocational, and is not accredited by any means.
Right.
But it's showing them that they can actually do something with their creativity.
Of course.
And get involved. And in hindsight, we started going back to all those agencies that we were working, like with RISE and with Cerebral Palsy Association and all these great groups that we were teaching at, and say, "Who's doing your digital marketing and advertising?" And they'd be like, "We don't even know." Some company that we're really not. I said, "How about a special needs advertising agency?"
Right.
And all of a sudden, we did something that I don't think has been done at all. And that's to show them that not only can they learn about it, but they can earn it. Now they can come in and start doing work in the nonprofit sector. So when you're helping out an organization's mission, vision, and values, recreating their brand, reestablishing who they are, what they are doing, and why, help their marketing and communication, new websites, new social media. All of a sudden, we're helping that organization do their greatness, and the students are learning and getting a career out of it.
Right.
So now we've hired 4 or 5 out of our program. I think we're up to 8 or 10 in the actual workforce at Spirit of Huntington Art Center doing digital art as a job.
But it's not only not-for-profit. It could be any business on Long Island or in the country, really. You think
It really
about
could be. I mean, we like purpose-driven. It makes, I jokingly say I don't want to do any more car ads, but you know what? If it came through and everybody understands it, then yeah. They understand that they're working with a special population, that they're doing amazing work. And I always jokingly say, I'll put that our agency today up against what I had 5-6 years ago, and I think it blows it away. I mean, I think the creativity is beyond, and the professionalism.
Well, Michael, the beauty of that, too, is that the for-profit company can also help out a not-for-profit. If you can produce a product that generates the same marketing skills as a regular company where you're going to pay a lot more money for sure.
Hello, it's a win-win.
It makes total sense to me.
It's a win-win. And they're getting it at a less price. They're helping out a nonprofit. It's not necessarily tax-deductible dollars because we are providing services. But, at the end of the day, the companies can get behind it. Their employees get behind it. They realize who's working on their stuff. They get that buy-in, and when everyone starts drinking the Kool-Aid and everyone starts understanding what we're doing, I mean, we've had organizations now donate computers to us. We're getting clients who are calling us. I've owned an agency for 20-something years. I never had anybody call me up and say I need marketing. Now they're calling up. I hear what you're doing.
Right.
I hear you're working with this group and that group and that group. How can we get involved? And you know what? We have small retainers as low as $700-800 a month, up to $2,000 or $3,000 a month, depending on how much marketing and stuff they need. Right. So it's been amazing to watch that whole, and it's called Artworks, which is putting art to work and showing that this is a whole nother aspect of vocation. We call it pre-vocation because, again, just the way it's getting labeled into, the dollars.
But it's a good experience for the individual.
But it's an amazing, and it's like taking an art class at a library. In this case, it's a digital art class. You're learning stuff. And we've had students with us for a couple of years who, like I said, who've joined the team and gotten hired.
Right. Michael, where's the site located?
So spiritofhuntington.com is our website. You'll see all these great programs, the Artability, which we talked about, which is the art shows, the art classes, which you'll see there too. It's called Artists Come Alive, and Clay Comes Alive, and Music Comes Alive, and Artworks. It's all in there under our programs, under spiritofhuntington.com. Love for you to see that.
Where are you located?
We're at 2 Melville Road.
Okay.
That's in Huntington Station, New York. We're about a block away from Jericho Turnpike. Like Charlie said, we're at the old library. That's what we kind of affectionately call it. That used to be the South Huntington Library at the point there of Melville and Depot Road, right by Jericho Turnpike. And now that Rise is there, and we've been able to now create the whole center, as you mentioned, we collaborated on this purchase. And now we've created the Rise, Rise for Life, and that's just amazing to see what's happening there in this whole, this whole thing. And it's Rise in Spirit Community Arts Center, and we're looking for obviously support and donations to help with the capital campaign. Obviously, it's not easy buying a building and the finances and all the stuff that we need to get. So we're always looking for support on that. You can go to spiritofhuntington.com/SOS, as in save our spirit.
Right.
And there's donation levels there, everything from $100 donation up to $500,000. They want to put their name on the building. We jokingly say, we'll put it out there.
Michael, if they have a question, what is your phone number? Where can they reach you?
The number is 631-470-9620. Again, Michael at spiritofhuntington.com. You can send me an email or go to spiritofhuntington.com and see all there, and there's contact forms there as well. And we got a great team, and we're excited to help and support however we can in the community of veterans, in the community of disabilities, and like you said earlier, with autism and all
an important point for me too. It's not only anybody who has a disability or autism, whatever the spectrum. Individuals in the community can also come and take art classes, dance classes.
Oh yeah, we got that going on all the time.
Okay,
we have open enrollment for both art and clay, and Yeah, we got people. There's classes going on all the time there, and everyone gets caught up in it, and they end up volunteering half the time too. So
No, it's a
good,
fun thing, no question.
They see it.
Michael, thank you for coming on to the show.
Charles,
it's always great working with you.
Thank you for all your blessings.
And thank you again. And I want to thank, please, if you're interested, you need more information, you can also contact myself, Charles Evdos. I'm, again, Executive Director of Rise Life Services. Go to riselifeservices.org, we're there to help. And again, thank you for watching the show. Appreciate it. Whatever we can help, don't forget our 855 Rise Life helpline. We're there for you. Thank you again. Have a great day.